This is Denise, the spokesperson for Freedom is Sacred, and I hope y'all enjoying my blog. I'm going to have another article up pretty soon. Right now, though, I have to say that Rick Ross of the Rick Ross Institute is allowing an incredible level of personal assault on people and threats. I mentioned in one of my other little updates on what the vigilantes are doing to try to set up the Jesus Christians, that they began talking about incineration, which was, of course, something that happened in Waco to the Branch Davidians after Rick Ross and the anti-cult activists successfully demonized that group. And that being an American group in Texas, the leadership of who did run a sporting gun business. There are a lot of gun dealers in the United States, and that happened to be a business that the Branch Davidians were involved in. So it was easy to wait for an opportune moment and accuse them of stockpiling weapons without mentioning that, in fact, they were describing a gun store. And you can go into any small town in America and see gun stores. Hunters, everyone uses them. America is a gun-oriented society. The Jesus Christians, interestingly enough, are based mostly among Australians and the United Kingdom. They have some American membership, but they're really not that big of a deal in the United States, and they come out of a culture that is not gun-oriented. And they are not gun-oriented. They're pacifists. They come out of a strong heritage from the Quakers and various other groups, but they really are a pacifist group. And the Rick Ross activists are now introducing guns into the mix of their discussion. The man who is discussing guns is also trying to mislead people by asking them to search on Waco, and any discussion of Waco is being taken as proof that they are the same. This is more demonization. Most of the postings over in the Jesus Christian Forum about the Waco and Branch Davidian group are actually from me, because I'm the one who started discussing that, since most of the United Kingdom-based membership of the JCs are not aware of Rick Ross's history in the Southwest. They've read a little bit here and there online, but they really aren't aware of how familiar we are here in the United States with assaults on independent small church groups by the Rick Ross Institute vigilantes. They only see Rick Ross's own propaganda online, where he characterizes himself as a big hero for going after the Scientology church, but in fact he has very little to do with that, and mostly he's involved with attacking small pacifist Christian groups. And I just wanted to bring that up. I think that we really are, we really need to take this vigilante problem to the courts. We need to take Rick Ross to the courts. We need to do something about it. They're naming me by name. They're attacking every aspect of my life just for speaking up, because that's all I'm doing. I don't even agree with half the Jesus Christian theology. If I were to get into a theological discussion with them, it wouldn't go very far, because I am very traditionally Catholic, and there's a lot of Catholic belief that they don't hold to. But there's one basic belief that we all must hold to, and that is that freedom is sacred. And you don't attack people with lies, libel, slander, demonization. They're recruiting people to try to join the Jesus Christians, who go in there calling names, calling people pedophiles, making crazy accusations, total strangers who've never had any contact with anybody in the group, who then claim that they're being intimidated because they're just told go away, banned. I mean, what group, organization, social group on earth is required to allow somebody to become a member when that person comes in the door calling you names? Closing the door in somebody's face is not intimidation. Coming after people, attacking our families, attacking our careers, attacking our right to even speak. I've been attacked for such heinous crimes as having a video up about an orchid in the moonlight. Seriously, in my other channel, I showed some white orchids in the moonlight and spoke about my artwork. And there's a whole thread in Rick Ross viciously attacking me for doing that. That is intimidation, along with the other threats from Rick Ross activists, that if I don't stop making my art videos, any videos, including memorials to my daughter, videos about my artwork, which has nothing to do with any of this, a simple video about my orchid growing hobby. I've been threatened by Rick Ross Institute for making that. The threat by the Rick Ross activists who post in there is that they will make vicious videos using morphed images of my late daughter. That's the threat they made. That's why I opened this blog. Because I am only one person among everyone they attack. And this is a vicious, dangerous, terrorist group. Anita Walker, the one who posts my whole name in there, attacking me, she is sitting out there in Australia, destroying families here with her libelous, hate-filled slander. And she's a Quaker. This is what amazes me. Because in the United States, Quakers are identified with a history of pacifist, civil rights resistance to oppression. I've never before heard of any Quaker attacking people the way Anita Walker attacks me. She's one of Rick Ross's activists. She's one of his primary activists. Brian Birmingham is another one. He's the one who really gets violent. He gets the most violent of all of them in his postings. And really, the ideal thing, if I had the money, I would do it, would be to get a court injunction against Rick Ross for having those attacks up. He should be stopped from being able to do that. All we do is defend. He attacks and attacks and attacks. Now he's making accusations of gun ownership against people. People who never even touch guns. And what amazes me is the level to which they're bringing it. I'm still sitting here in shock over what I read this morning. And I'm sorry, this is not more detailed, but I'll tell you, the links are there. You can go look. You can go look. And another thing, they like to print how we're terrible for not letting people in to a forum. And I say we, I'm not a Jesus Christian, but I'm being pushed further and further into it. And I think they're probably the biggest recruiters out there for getting decent people to come together and say, stop this. Rick Ross does not permit anyone to start posting in his forum until you demonstrate through a series of posts that you are sufficiently hateful to be accepted. That's his method. And then they post that, well, we could go there and answer them any time. Well, nobody wants to go there. If I was invited to go walk in the gutter, I wouldn't do it. I'll stay in my home, thank you. But I will defend my home. These are decent, intelligent people who've written some beautiful material. Even the theology I disagree with is well written and well presented. It's freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of worship, freedom of assembly. And nobody's destroying anybody's families except Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the one who goes in and fans flames of conflict between people. Rick Ross's group is the one who calls everyone's relatives up and busts up any attempt they make to just have a family for themselves. They're the ones who post things with horrible accusations. Really, I just can't believe that the Rick Ross Institute continues to be supported by the United States government, who gives it a nonprofit 501 status. I can't believe that they're allowed to promote such open terroristic hatred onto individual American citizens and Australian and United Kingdom British citizens all around the world. That's really what they're doing. They are a hunting squad. They are predators. Anita Walker is a predator. Brian Birmingham is a predator. That's what they're doing. They're acting like predators. Go to the Rick Ross Institute, rickross.com, and read that forum and see what predators they are. They are not doing anything to help people avoid cults. They're doing everything they can to destroy individual private lives. And that's it for today.